WCBI News at 10 starts now.
We begin tonight with breaking news out of Brooksville. A shooting lands one person behind bars, then sends another to the hospital. Brooksville police say 19-year-old Everett Shields is accused of shooting his father, 49-year-old Elvis Shields. The shooting happened around 6 o'clock at 500 Meadowbrook Drive. Elvis Shields was shot multiple times and was airlifted to North Mississippi Medical Center in Tupelo. He's listed in stable condition. The Knoxville County Sheriff's Department arrested Everett, and he's being charged with 2 counts of aggravated assault. And in Aberdeen, police are looking for Cortez McMillan. They believe he's involved in a shooting that sent one man to the hospital. Now, the victim has been treated and released, but McMillan is still on the run. If you know where he's at tonight, you're asked to contact the Aberdeen Police Department. A Lowndes County jury finds a West Point man guilty of 8 crimes. Travius Gaston was convicted on 2 counts each of armed robbery, kidnapping, and sexual battery. He's also charged with 1 count each of grand larceny and felony possession of a weapon. Gaston robbed the Sprint Mart on Military Road back in February 2015. Then he held 2 store clerks against their will and sexually assaulted them. Gaston was later found hiding in a bathtub at a West Point apartment complex. District Attorney Scott Colon praised the victims for their courage in testifying against Gaston and the Columbus Police for their hard work. Gaston's sentencing is set for tomorrow. A Mississippi man says he'd warned the FBI late last year about the suspect in yesterday's Florida school shooting. The Iberville bail bondsman became alarmed after seeing a post from Nicholas Cruz that raised a red flag. Jalen Morris from our Gulfport sister station, WXXV, has more.
This is Ben Benight, a bail bondsman in Iberville who alerted the FBI last September on a disturbing post on his YouTube channel from Nicholas Cruz stating, "I'm going to be a professional school shooter." Benight contacted the FBI late that night after seeing the post. 2 FBI agents visited Benight the next morning.
I think that if the FBI had the manpower and the resources to track down every YouTube comment made that was sideways, maybe it could have been prevented. But, you know, there's so much out there.
After the deadly shooting in Florida on Wednesday, the question asked today is, did the FBI do enough with the information Benight gave them last September?
I think they took them as seriously as they could for a vague comment on a YouTube channel.
Benight heard about the school shooting in Florida while online Wednesday. The news caught him by surprise.
I first saw that report, I felt like, you know, it's sad, another school shooting. I hadn't connected the dots yet.
Less than 2 hours after the shooting, the FBI contacted Benight and wanted to know if he knew anything about Nicholas Cruz. Benight told them he didn't know anything about Cruz besides his post last September. School shootings have been a major issue in the United States, with this one being the 18th school shooting this year. So when Benight saw the post in September, he had 2 concerns: the country and the safety of his children.
I stay concerned about the state of things in the country, and is my son's school going to be next? Or any of my kids' schools going to be next?
In Iberville, Jalen Morris, News 25.
Armstrong Middle School in Starkville was not on lockdown at any time today. The Starkville-Oktibbeha School District tweeted about a social media post from an adult that has, quote, created a frenzy of misinformation that is fueling untruths. Armstrong operated a normal schedule under normal operating procedures today. Students and staff were safe and secure all throughout the day. Administrators encourage anyone who has concerns about safety issues to contact a school official or security. The district is working with the Starkville Police Department to investigate. Well, the concern is understandable. Tuesday's shooting in Florida is the second large-scale shooting this year. With these horrific situations becoming more common, the fear and stress levels are on the rise for many parents, students, and school districts. Counselors encourage parents to talk with their children about the unimaginable scenario because it can help ease their fears. But they can also depend on how parents deliver the conversation.
If we present fear and anxiety, then that's exactly what our children are going to present. If we present confidence and knowledge, then our children will present that same confidence, especially in the likelihood of a disastrous event.
Wood says it's also important to limit information your children receive about these situations through the media and internet. And it's now time to get a first look at our weather. And for that, we'll send things over to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson, who's standing by with more. Keith?
And right now it is 10:04. We have warm conditions out there, upper 60s. Oxford, hey, you're still at 70 degrees. Now, Many spots are still clear at this point. Clouds will fill back in as we go throughout the overnight hours. We topped out at 78 in Tupelo, the old record 79, 80 in Columbus, the old record 82, so just shy of those old record highs today. Very warm out there right now, but watch this. Look at that. That is cold air coming on down our way later on tonight. We should start out in the 60s tomorrow morning. By the afternoon, 50s and 40s scattered showers possible. What about the weekend? I'll let you know more about that in just a few minutes.
Thanks so much, Keith. Nearly 23% of Mississippi adults light it up on a regular basis, and they pay a pretty low tax compared to other states. But there's a push to hike that cost of that pack of cigarettes. Courtney Ann Jackson explains.
The idea of raising taxes isn't something you'll often hear a bipartisan call for here at the state capitol, but the tobacco tax seems to be the exception.
This is a common sense approach to improving the health care in our state. How can we ignore that?
3 Senate bills are pending that would raise the cigarette tax by $1.50. A House proposal is for a $1 hike. The State Medical Association says it's a win-win for the state's pocketbook and overall health.
We know as prices go up, smoking use goes down, and also it will increase revenues to the state for those that still do smoke.
They say raising the tax on a pack of cigarettes would have the most dramatic impact on teen smokers.
The youth are affected more by cost. For every 10% increase in cost, 7% fewer youth smoke.
Senators Bryce Wiggins and Willie Simmons both have pending bills to raise the tax.
So this tax is an investment that gives a great return in several ways.
Wiggins' bill would earmark the tax revenues.
I am not for tax increases, but by gosh, we have to improve health care, and if we're going to do it, it needs to go to Medicaid and not into the general fund just for us to spend it on other things.
Governor Bryant's Director of Communications, Clay Chandler, sent a statement saying Governor Bryant is supportive of generating new revenue and stopping smoking and other unhealthy behavior. He will carefully review any bill raising taxes on cigarettes should one reach his desk.
2 Memphis men who admitted in federal court that they brought women to Oxford on several occasions for prostitution were sentenced in prison late last month. The case showed that human trafficking happens even here in North Mississippi. Our Allie Martin shows us how a diverse group of professionals is taking proactive steps to spot the signs of human trafficking and hopefully save potential victims.
But what she took for love turned manipulative, violent.
The animated video is produced by a non-profit called Shared Hope International and encourages people to learn how to spot victims of human trafficking.
We have to be on top of that as parents to take care of our children and protect our children.
That's what brought educators, first responders, social workers, and other concerned citizens to this human trafficking seminar at Tupelo's All Saints Episcopal Church. Ashley Lucas is with the Mississippi Office of Homeland Security. She went over warning signs that an individual is being trafficked, such as unexplained absences from school, displaying expensive clothes, accessories, or shoes, or having signs of physical abuse. Lucas encouraged people to report their suspicions to law enforcement.
Better to be safe than sorry, and if you see something, say something. And I really believe that.
Hannah Meharry is with the Family Resource Center of North Mississippi and wanted to bring the seminar to Tupelo after hearing a similar presentation last month. Lindsay Brett is principal at Plantersville Middle School, and she says the seminar was informative and eye-opening.
I guess what I learned with this particular session is how rampant it is even in our area. And I also learned that it's not only sex trafficking but labor trafficking as well. So I'm going to be a lot more aware of the labor trafficking. I've known to look for the sex trafficking, but the labor trafficking is what's been interesting.
Human trafficking may not be a pleasant subject to talk about, but organizers of this seminar are hoping it's a first step to educating locals about a problem that knows no geographic boundaries. In Tupelo, I'm Allie Martin, WCBI News.
And those at the seminar also learned that pimps find a majority of human trafficking victims on social media.
Otherwise, all quiet here locally. A cold front is waiting in the wings with some clouds up there, some showers as well. We'll have a little bit of rain around here tomorrow. The full forecast is next.
Your first alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
let's talk about Friday. Showers possible. Not a lot of rain here. We start out in the 60s by noon. Some of you, the Golden Triangle area, approaching 68 degrees. Other spots by that time already cooling down. And we will all be cooling down in the afternoon on Friday. Now check out this. This is our next 24 hours for Tupelo. Holding steady here in the mid-60s as we go throughout the overnight hours. And then here comes the front. And it looks like we'll have some 50s and 40s for you tomorrow afternoon. Much different than today. We had some record highs in the region. As I mentioned, just shy of the record in Tupelo and Columbus, but as warm as 83 in New Orleans today and as warm as 76 in Jackson, Tennessee, so pretty warm. It looked and felt like spring or early summer. Some low-level cumulus clouds coming on in, a southerly flow, moisture in the atmosphere. It just looks and feels like we're going to have some severe weather, but that is not the case with this incoming cold front. Miraculously, we will not have any strong storms or any storms with the front tomorrow. A pretty nice sunset here across our region tonight, again showing some of those different layers of clouds, high cirrus, low-level cumulus clouds. Pretty nice to see. Temperatures right now, we are in the 60s and 70s, as we talked about, very mild. There's the front. 40 in Kansas City, 29 Omaha, 25 Minneapolis. It's much, much colder to the north, and that cold air is coming on down with the front. Now, with that front, we have some clouds, we have some showers here. But notice how there's really not a lot of heavy rain with this activity. It is coming our way. We will see some showers around here, but nothing catastrophic, nothing as heavy as what we've had over the last week. But by mid-morning tomorrow, here comes the front. Some showers will be possible during the day. A lot of that will wind down by the evening. So if you're heading out tomorrow evening for a movie, a date, what have you, things should be okay, just much, much cooler than where we are right now. Another system comes on into play on Saturday morning that will be with us for a good chunk of the day Saturday. And Saturday could be kind of wet and raw and nasty around here. Tomorrow, generally less than 1/4 inch of rain with system number 1, the cold front. Number 2, on Saturday, a 1/2 inch to 1 inch plus across the northern half of the area. Farther south, not as much, but still a better opportunity overall for some rain here as we get into the weekend. Now, here's the temperature story. Tomorrow morning, again, 60s for the morning commute. So when you head out, just bring your jackets and your rain gear just to be prepared for the front to come on through. Here's noon. Lunch, very, very chilly across the northern counties. Around the Golden Triangle area, still mild. And then it looks like we'll all cool down as we get into the afternoon. So a bit of a roller coaster ride here. And not only tomorrow, but also into next week, too. Saturday's 58 could be a little bit warmer or colder, depending on where that front stalls out, the one that's moving through tomorrow. More showers possible on Sunday. Not as wet, but very warm Monday and Tuesday. Now, speaking of storms, we won't see any tomorrow or Saturday, but there could be some around here by Wednesday.
The Mississippi State women's basketball team takes on Vanderbilt. Do they make some noise in the Music City? Tom has highlights later in sports. Welcome back, everyone. When it comes to healthy health eating, it's important to keep an eye on your sodium intake. But as we find out in tonight's Health Talk with Baptist, there's more to that than just putting down the salt shaker.
Hi, I'm Jessica Nagel, a clinical dietitian at Baptist Memorial Hospital, Golden Triangle. Remember that a heart-healthy diet includes low fat, low cholesterol, and low sodium. Tonight in Health Talk with Baptist, we will discuss sodium. Paying attention to sodium levels in foods may help to reduce your risk of heart disease. Choose foods that contain less than 300 milligrams of sodium per serving. Sodium intake should be less than 2,400 milligrams per day. 1 teaspoon of salt contains 2,300 milligrams of sodium. According to the CDC, Americans get most of their daily sodium, more than 75%, from processed and restaurant foods. Roughly 40% of all the sodium in the American diet comes from just 10 different types of foods, which include bread and rolls, cured meats or cold cuts, pizza, poultry, soup, sandwiches, cheese, pasta dishes, meat dishes, and snacks. Tips for reducing sodium intake include choose low sodium or no added salt versions of foods, avoid processed foods such as frozen dinners, instant cooking foods, luncheon meats, and potted meats, pickles, sauerkraut, and olives. Limit condiments and salt seasonings. Do not add extra salt to your food while cooking or at the table. Choose fresh or frozen vegetables. Use spices and herbs to enhance the taste of foods. It normally takes about 2 weeks for your taste buds to adapt to a change. Join us next time for Health Talk with Baptist.
Mail your topic suggestions to healthtalk@wcbi.com. Health Talk has been brought to you by Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle.
More history in the making for Hale State hoops. Plenty of Bulldog highlights coming up next in sports.
WCBI Sports with Tom Ebel.
On the verge of more history. It seems every time we talk about Hale State hoops, another program first, record, best, you name it, it's probably on the line. And that was the case yet again against Vanderbilt. Vic Schaefer and the Bulldogs looking to clinch a share of the program's first SEC regular season title. They shot out of the gate in an absolute blaze. Ro Johnson staying hot with the corner triple. Deja vu, I'll tell you, this is a different highlight. Ro Johnson again in the corner for three. Good ball movement from Mississippi State. Blair Schaefer in the opposite corner for three. And then just more fun here. Victoria Vivians, look at the up fakes, gets the defense to bite. Ro Johnson left all alone. Bulldogs would drain 10 triples in this one. And off the steal, Victoria Vivians would get it on the fun. Here, off the skip pass, I should say. Victoria Vivians wide open, a bold strategy there, Vanderbilt. She's going to make that almost every time. And then inside, showing off that every facet of the game for Vivians, the post jump hook. Bulldogs up 24 at halftime. And then Mississippi State on cruise control, just jump on. Tierra McCown's back. She's going to lead you to victory. Just dominating inside, score after score. Morgan Williams would have 9 dimes. She'd have a ball. There's Tierra McCown again dominating inside. She'd have 19 points, 11 boards. Bulldogs clinched that first SEC title. They smoked Vanderbilt 95-50. And on top of that, they're still undefeated at 27-0. Ole Miss struggling continues for the Rebels. They dropped their 10th straight game, this time on the road at Baton Rouge. The Rebels fall to 1-11 in the SEC. Shelby Gibson led the way with her first career double-double, 15 points and 10 boards. To JUCO hoops we go. Rivalry in Fulton. ICC taking on Northeast. Ladies first, third quarter we go. Andrea Adams of Corinth puts it in with the and one bucket. ICC leads, but here comes Northeast. Deja Rogan, Ripley native, hits the triple. Northeast leads here. Lady Indians come right back. Shania Buford, nice mid-range pull-up. Little sky floater there for the bucket. Then regaining the lead, Tanisha Miller gets underneath. Nice dime inside for the bucket. Fakes out the defender. It's a 5-point game after 3. Fourth quarter, more from ICC. Lauren Finch in transition. Nice lay-in for 2. ICC gets the W, 64-47. Let's run it back with the boys. ICC taking on Northeast in Fulton. Tigers jump out on top. Arthur Johnson penetrating for 2 inside for Northeast. Then the Indians, Casey McQueen is going to tie the ball game up with a triple of his own. The back come the Tigers. Connor McKay, look at a step back triple. The Rainbow J. Tigers take the lead, and here comes Northeast trying to extend that lead. Baldwin native Felix Hayes gets it in the corner. You know that's money. Rattles in for 3, and then the Indians fight right back. Ole Miss commit Brian Hallams with the grown man board. Finishes with the reverse lay-in. But Northeast splits the doubleheader with the W, 71-53. To district, well, punching a ticket for district championships over in West Lowndes. This is the Lady Panthers taking on Hamilton. Second quarter for Hamilton. Alexia Ware finds Amia Werner inside for 2. West Lowndes would answer off the fast break. Ed Mariah Sherrod drives off the glass for the bucket. Tie game early on. The fourth quarter gets good. Shanice Watt finds Ariel Boswell. He'll drive and finish off the glass for 2. West Lowndes leading here, but back comes Hamilton. Tori Harrison to Tylish Werner for the score. Later on for West Lowndes, back and forth we go. Fourth quarter was good. Sherrod finds Ashanti Williams, grades the mid-range J. Last chance for Hamilton, down by 3, 5 seconds left. Tori Harrison looking to make something happen. He's going to throw across court. It's going to be picked off by Shanice Watt. West Lowndes gets the W in thrilling fashion, 51-48. They'll face Vardaman for the 1A District Championship coming up tomorrow. Also on the boys' side in West Lowndes, the Cross Creek rivalry rematch. Chris Smith and Nana Wyatt taking on Knox Pater early on for the Warriors. Smith's pass stolen by Jared Triplett, coast to coast for 2. Later on for the Tigers, D. Woods to DePadre Colburn. Nice grown man take inside with the contact for 2. Back and forth early, Nanawaya this time off the fast break. Bryce Stanton coast to coast for a nice left-hand finish. Later on for Nanawaya, still making things happen. Here comes Chris Smith on a fast break. Oh, Euro step, pull up little floater for 2, plus the harm. He'll take that. The back comes Knox Pater. DePadre Coburn steals the pass one more time. He's going to score at the other end for the easy 2. Knox Pater gets the W over Nanawaya, 50-39. The Tigers will play West Lowndes for the district championship. We'll, of course, be talking about that a little bit later. So here's a recap of earlier today. Nanawaya and Vardaman facing off for that district championship appearance. Vardaman was able to get the W over Nanawaya today to face West Lowndes. The final for that one, you see it on your screen, 49-26. And also, we just talked about it, Vardaman taking on West Lowndes. The Panthers able to clinch the home victory that'll send them to the district championship. They get the W over Vardaman, 43-37. We'll have those full highlights coming up on our website, also on Sunrise tomorrow morning. That's it for sports. Last of your forecast is next.
Some falling temperatures tomorrow. We do have a chance for a few showers, probably more in the way of widespread rain on Saturday, perhaps a little bit heavier too. Sunday, some showers still possible. I sound like a broken record here. Rain chances overall, but a little bit warmer again Monday and Tuesday. So if you missed out on today's glorious weather, we're back in that same pattern next week.
Man, it's raining messing up my weekend plans.
I'm sorry, man.
I don't like it.
Get ready for it.
Thanks for tuning in with us.